Hello guys, this is Grumpy. Welcome back to another Feed the Beast tutorial. Today we're going to be covering a little Equivalent Exchange 3. Specifically, we're going to cover the Minium Stone. Now, we're going to cover how to make it and how to use it. So the first question you might ask, what's it for? Well, it's used to convert one type of item into another type of item. So if you got an excess of something, you can turn it into something more useful, or something that'd be more useful for you at that moment. But anyway, let me show you the recipe. Here's the Minium Stone. It takes 8 shards of minium, and they are surrounding an inert stone. So now, first thing is you want to know is how to get these shards of minium. You want to get these 8 first. This part in the middle is not too difficult. This is going to be the harder part, getting the shards. But basically, when you kill a mob, there's like a 1 in 8, or I'm sorry, probably about a 1 in 8, 1 in 10 chance of it dropping one of these shards. And so you just go around killing mobs at night, and you'll get 8 of these within 1 or 2 Minecraft night times. Another alternative is if you have an XP farm. Some of you may not know what an XP farm is, so I'm briefly going to cover it. Basically, it's like a mob grinder, except it doesn't quite kill the mob. So what people usually do is they find a spawner, and then they use like a water to push them down the shaft. And the mob falls, and they almost fall to their death. They'll be like half a heart or 1 heart, and you just stand at the bottom of the shaft and whack them with a sword. They die, you get XP, but with this Equivalent Exchange 3, you also get a chance of getting these shards of minium. So you can just stand there and whack them over and over. You can whack them over and over if you're getting XP for enchanting anyway. So just getting these things right here is like a bonus. So anyway, we'll need also need one of these inert stones. Now you make those with a gold ingot and 4 iron ingots and 4 smooth stones. So there's the recipe right there. That will give you an inert stone. And you just take the inert stone and surround it by the shards of minium, and that's how you get the Minium Stone. So let me show you some of the cool recipes for this thing. So let me hit the U key here. It's going to take this thing a minute or two to pop, or not a minute or two, but a little bit to pop up. But there's like 180 something recipes for this thing, and most recipes have a reverse. So there's like a recipe, it's one of my favorites. It'll take 4 gold bars and convert it into diamonds. So let me find that recipe. But you can go through here yourself and find all these recipes. There's just go under the shapeless crafting here. There's also shape crafting, but we just want shapeless right now. So here's the diamond one. So you take 4 gold ingots and you'll get a diamond. You can also take 1 gold ingot and get 8 iron. So it's a great way to get rid of an excess material of whatever you have. Now, this isn't as cheaty as Equivalent Exchange 2. If you come in from Tech-It, you remember how cheaty that was. You had to remember that you went through the trouble of making this stone, and it took you a lot of grinding and all that, and it took you some resources. So you're actually consuming resources to convert one item into another. So here's a recipe I like too. This one makes ender pearls. So you take 4 iron ingots and you'll get an ender pearl. Now I like that recipe because I don't like going to the end. Actually, I've never been to the end in a game of Minecraft. It's too much of a headache getting these things, these ender pearls, to open the gateway and find the fortress and all that. So I like this. It's another way to get ender pearls. And like I think I've mentioned before, every recipe has a reverse. So this recipe takes 4 iron and converts it into ender pearl. And this recipe takes 1 ender pearl and converts it back into 4 iron. Now here's another recipe I like. It's recipe 50 something. I'm close to recipe 60, so let me cycle through here real quick. I just passed it twice. There we go. This recipe right here takes 3 bone meal and converts it into a bone. So I kind of like that one. If you haven't found a skeleton spawner yet, this is a great way to get bones. So this is basically the gist of the Minium Stone. There's not a whole lot to it, but if you stick around, I will show you a cool machine that generates bone meal using this Minium Stone. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So if you're not interested in the machine, this is basically the gist of the Minium Stone, but if you want to see a cool machine over here, stick around. So here we go. Here's our output chest. Now this thing is generating bone meal. It's pretty fast too. There's 53, 59, 64. Now start a new stack. 1, 7, 13. So it's pretty darn fast. It's generating quite a bit of bone meal. So let me show you how this thing works. Now first of all, here's the input chest. This chest is completely full. And this is automatic crafting table. Now this automatic crafting table, here's the recipe we put in there. And basically what the automatic crafting table does is it creates any item that's in here. So this is the recipe, if you recall, that creates a bone. So I have 4 redstone engines here connected to wooden pipe, and this wooden pipe's extracting the bones from the automatic crafting table. Now every time a bone pops out, it's automatically going to grab some more bone meal from this chest, so I don't have to have anything. If you put a chest next to an automatic crafting table, it'll pull out whatever it needs from that chest. Now if you also notice, I have another chest back here. Now here's the reason. If you look at this Minium Stone, it's full durability, and I've already mentioned that this thing, I think I mentioned that the Minium Stone has a durability. Every time you use it, it takes damage and eventually break. Now you might be wondering, why is this one staying charged? Well, I have a second chest back here, and what you do is you put Minium Stones back here, and what happens is this one right here takes the durability damage instead of the one in the chest, and so this keeps the machine running. If this chest was to empty out, this one right here would start taking durability damage until it breaks. And so if you want this set up, make sure and have a chest adjacent to it filled with Minium Stone. So let's go and put that one in there too. If you notice, this one here automatically started taking damage because it's going to go from top left to bottom right. So once this one's burned up, then it's going to go to this one, and this one, and this one. So if you notice here, I'm using a combination of Red Power 2 and Buildcraft. And the reason being is because the automatic crafting table is part of Buildcraft, and Red Power will not interface to it. So the workaround of that is this chest right here. This chest right here is just a vanilla chest, and automatic crafting table and Red Power can both interface with that. So there'll be times, like other mods too, like if you want to use Red Power with Industrial Craft Power, you can't get them to interface directly because they're 2 different mods. Use vanilla as an in-between. So the only purpose of this chest is to interface this tube right here to this chest. So if we come over here again, like I said before, we have 4 redstone engines. Now each one of those engines pull out a bone every time the engine strokes. So I don't know how fast it is, maybe roughly once a second. So it's pulling out roughly 4 bones a second. And over here they're getting macerated. Now a macerator will take 1 bone and convert it into 5 bone meal. So if you look closely, you can see the number 5. So the net effect is we're taking a bone and converting it, we're taking a bone, macerating it, we get 5 bone meal. We take 3 of the bone meal and turn it back into a bone. And so what happens is we're generating bone meal. So if you do see right here, if you look at that, I have 12 overclockers in there. So this thing's taking a massive amount of electricity. I have like 40 something advanced solar panels. So this thing is pulling 300 or 400 EU per tick out of the system. Now you don't have to use as many overclockers. You may come up with a design that uses 2 or 3 or 4 macerators, or you could just slow the machine down. I have to keep this thing with so much electricity because if this thing can't keep up, then the bones will start falling out on the ground. So I could like tear a couple of these engines down. That would cut the speed down in half, but I wanted to show you what this thing would look like at full speed, so this is it right here. But anyway, that's the macerator. Now next to it we have a Red Power filter. We leave it empty, and what this thing is going to do is it's going to pull out anything in this slot right here. So if you notice, the Buildcraft pipe comes in from the top. Anything comes in from the top goes here. Anything that's connected to the side we'll try to extract out of this slot. So right here we have a timer. It's just set to 0.75 seconds. So every 0.75 seconds, this filter will pull out anything that's in that slot. And it comes out right here, and it goes around to right here. And the way Red Power pipes work, this filter is kind of like shoving them down the pipe, but it will only put something out if there's a valid destination. And so we have 2 valid destinations. We have this chest here and this chest here. So how does it decide which one to go to? Well, it actually sends stuff to the closest valid destination. So here's what's happening. These little packets right here, these are actually 5 bone meal each. Now if we look closely, you'll see 61, basically what happens is this thing's pulling out 3 at a time. We're sending packets of 5, so if there's any excess, you can see them bounce back and they go into this chest right here as the output chest. So once again, the red power goes to the closest valid destination. If the destination's full, it goes back here. So this is our overflow. This is actually our output chest. Now if you want to get creative and try this yourself, or maybe make it even better, what you might do is make the machine cut off when this chest gets full, like maybe using Buildcraft logic or something like that. That's up to you. Buildcraft logic probably worked better in this particular setup than red power anyway, just for that reason. But anyway, that's the gist of it. You can make your own machine that makes bone meal. Once again, this isn't OP because you haven't it's consuming these things, and just the amount of time I've been talking in this video, that's how much it's used. And you got to recall it takes 8 of those Minium shards, a piece of gold, and 4 iron. So you're using up a little resources. But later on in the game, or if you just have a shortage of bone meal or something, it's a great little machine to get bone meal. But anyway, this is Grumpy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, all that kind of happy stuff. Helps my channel out. We will see you next time.